Did she get donkey today? Please tell me.
Absolutely.
I had become donkey of the day.
It's the Breakfast Club, bitches.
You're a donkey.
Yes, donkey of the day for Tuesday, January 18th goes to Scott Henry. Do you all know who Scott Henry is? Scott Henry is a man who is a board member on the Cypress Fairbanks Independent School District, and he thinks that the more black teachers the district has, the greater the dropout rate. I said, Scott Henry believes the more black teachers the district has, the greater the dropout rate. He made these comments last Monday night during a work session about Cy-Fair's ISD Equity Audit Report. I have no idea what that is, but I do know his comments are hee-haw worthy. Let's go to, hey, Eddie, what's the news report?
Okay.
Well, we have one. Let's go.
We want to commend that company for taking that stand.
Praise tonight from the Houston chapter of the NAACP for the California software company who parted ways with Cy-Fair ISD Board of Education trustee Scott Henry. Henry accused of racism after making these offensive comments about black educators.
Houston ISD, which I'll use as a shining example. You know what their average percentage of black teachers is? 36%. I looked that up. You know what their dropout rate is? 4%. I don't want to be 4%. I don't want to be HISD.
2 days ago, Splunk, Henry's employer, tweeted that diversity, equity, and inclusion are core to Splunk's values and mission. We are deeply committed to DEI and take these concerns seriously. Tonight, they took a stand, tweeting, "We view the employee's conduct as inconsistent with who we are as Splunkers, and the individual is no longer employed by our company." Splunk confirms the tweet. Henry has not responded to a request for comment.
Yes, that news report was courtesy of ABC 13. I like to give credit. Now, what's interesting about this is Scott Henry posted on his Facebook page that he was defending his school district against attacks from an out-of-state political organization that claimed their schools were failing our students because they didn't meet one predetermined diversity metric. Okay, this is Scott Henry talking. He said this political organization claimed that one metric, the percent of black teachers in our schools, determined the quality of education the students receive. And he was simply refuting that by pointing out the fact there is no one metric that determines education quality. There are a number of important metrics that should also be taken into account, end quote. Okay, listen. Scott Henry, if one predetermined diversity metric doesn't determine the quality of education, then why did you bring up one predetermined diversity metric, which is the number of black teachers, and use that to determine this is why there is a dropout rate? I understand all humans are walking contradictions, but does anyone attempt to have any consistency anymore? I'm all about information. I'll take information over opinion any day, but he didn't give any real information to back up his claim. If you're going to make a claim like that, you have to be able to say these districts with black teachers have a significantly higher dropout rate than other districts. But 4%, what is that in comparison to everywhere else? That sounds very low to me. Okay, I read something that says the overall status high school dropout rate in all of America is 5.1%. Can someone confirm or deny? Okay, I don't know if that's true. Okay, I just looked that up. That district Scott Henry is complaining about seems lower than the national average. The moral of the story is diversity isn't hurting kids. Divisiveness and racism are. Now, I would think this kind of blatant racism would be cause for, immediate dismissal, because how can this guy make rational decisions about what needs to be done with our kids if they are through a lens of racism? Okay, Scott Henry, riddle me this. If more black teachers leads to worse student outcomes, then what does racially divisive board members lead to? I ask again, Scott Henry, if more black teachers leads to worse student outcomes, then what does racially divisive board members lead to? Please let Chelsea Handler give Scott Henry the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
Kathy Griffin, you want to get in on this?
Please give this giant jar of mayo the biggest hee-haw.
I know Chris Rock got something to say. You don't think Chris Rock got nothing to say?
Of course.
Cracker ass cracker.
All right.
Am I being racially divisive by playing that?
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey of the day. All right.
I like my Palo Santo.
Let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. So over the weekend, Kanye's daughter, Chicago, was having her birthday party. And allegedly, Kanye wasn't invited, all right? He was trying to get the address. He didn't know where the party was being held. Nobody would hit him back. Nobody would give him the address. He reached out to Tristan Thompson, and Tristan didn't give him the address. But finally, Travis Scott allegedly did.
Yo, I'm so happy right now. I just came from Shy's party, and I just gotta shout out to Travis Scott for sending me the address and the time and making sure that I was able to spend that birthday memory with my daughter, to be there with the rest of the family. And I just saw everybody. It was Chris and Corey and Kylie. Kylie let me in right when I got to the spot because the security stopped me once again when I got there. And it's just a matter of just having a conversation, open dialogue, and it was just, everyone just had a great time.
So we're asking 800-585-1051. You in that situation? Do you give Kanye the address if you Travis Scott? Because, allegedly Kim didn't. The family didn't. He asked Tristan. Tristan allegedly said no. Tristan was like, look, I'm in trouble. I ain't giving nothing. I ain't getting involved. But what would you do? Would you give that address if you're Travis Scott?
If I was Travis Scott, who in the court of public opinion is being accused of inciting riots, I don't think I would, because that could definitely have caused some commotion.
Correct.
At that party. Now I would have asked the rest of the family. If the rest of the family say cool,
but if he's
hitting
the rest of the family and nobody's sending it to him, obviously they wasn't giving him the address. But then Travis, I'm sure he knows.
It's my house.
At the end of the day, yeah, it's my house.
It's my house.
Well, I think it was his house. I think it was Kylie's house. Kylie's house.
Well,
but it's to the point. But he's still Chicago's dad.
I'm sure he didn't make that decision without the rest of the family, bro.
But what would you do?
I'm sure that we're only getting the social media information, meaning that we're only getting bits and pieces.
We're just getting whatever
We're
Kanye
only getting
said.
one side, which is Kanye's side. I'm sure the rest of the family co-signed
Nobody
on him
else
coming to the party.
Nobody else replied?
Man, it's just...
And how do we know Travis the only person that sent the address? Where do we get this stuff from?
Kanye said it. He just said
Kanye
it.
said it.
Oh, what a
That's where
reliable
you got it
source.
He is the source.
that is a
I would feel
you're
away
right,
though.
you're
I'm
right,
like,
you're
yo,
right.
bro, I tried to give you the address on the low, and then you just blew me all up.
I highly doubt that Travis Scott is the only person who sent Kanye West that address.
800-585-1051. If you're Travis Scott, would you send the address?
I highly doubt. Why are we doing this to Travis? I highly doubt it was just Travis.
We just based off what Kanye said. Kanye said
That's all
nobody
we
sent
can
them the
base it off
address.
of.
That's what Ye said. He said nobody sent me the address. He said I asked Tristan. Tristan didn't respond.
What about Chris? You don't think Chris sent it?
No, he said he didn't.
You don't think Chris? He was standing next to Chris the whole time at the party.
Well, that's when he got there.
How you know Kim ain't sent it?
He said he did. He said he got it from Travis.
Oh God! All right, man. I'll play along.
All right. Well, listen. Here, let's play that part.
Right. Happy birthday. I wasn't allowed to know where her party was. There's nothing legal that's saying that these are the kind of games that's being played.
At the light,
it's the kind of thing
turn
that
right onto Aviation
really has
Boulevard.
affected my health for the longest. And I'm just not playing. I'm taking control of my narrative this year. I'm being the father, the best father, the Ye version of a father. And I'm not finna let this happen. And we're gonna be in real time.
Take a slight
with
right
this.
turn onto
He didn't get invited, bro. 800-585-1051. Let's talk about it. It's not funny, man. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Donkey Today is brought to you by the law office of Michael S. Lamonsoff. Don't be a donkey. Dial pound 250 on your cell and say the bull if you've been hurt in a construction accident. That's pound 250 from your cell and say the bull.